A group of tertiary students who were initially quarantined, they will be now reunited with their family. They came from China, and we had the minister there, Dr. Bladen Zamande, sending them off. I want to bring in Hasina. Hasina, very good morning to you. What were some of the biggest takeaways from the minister's speech there?
76 TVET students are to be reunited with their families and returning home today after being in quarantine here in the east of Johannesburg for 14 days. These students were repatriated from China, where they were in learnership programs after the COVID-19 pandemic broke out there in the Far East country. They returned home on the 21st of March and have been at Birchwood Hotel where they were in quarantine. They all clear a few days ago and now are ready to be reunited with their families. But with me, I have one student who is going to be chatting to me about her experience. Thank you so much for speaking to me, Morengwa. Tell me, when did you go to China and what were you doing in China when you left?
We left South Africa last year, 2019 in early April. So this was organized by our college thanks to our coordinator, Miss Lucy Lekhanyani. She made sure that this was a success indeed at the end.
What learnership program were you doing in China?
I was doing e-commerce. Yes. This was a business. It's what e-commerce. It's an online business. They were teaching us as South African people how to start the businesses when it comes to e-commerce. As you know, that the country and the whole world is taking digital technology. That's where that is going to lead a country in large. So I believe that we came back with that. We saw it, we experienced it. We've been living in e-commerce life. Yes.
Tell me, how did you feel when, the COVID-19 pandemic broke out there in China and you were right there? What were you feeling then, and what was the kind of sense, there?
For me, at first, it was a shock. But as the Chinese were so careful, they took care of us, and then they made sure that each one of us, we were in quarantine. And the only thing that was fear was my family calling from home, stressing me. I was not stressed that much. The only stress that I had was for me coming back home, thinking that is my country ready for this? But China is being ready for this, and we've been safe. I hope and believe that as South Africans, we're going to be safe as well.
Tell me, so you were in quarantine. Where were you in quarantine? And explain that experience to us.
I was in Hangzhou College. So in that, they put us in a school hotel. What they were doing is we're not allowed to go out. The chefs by the school, they brought us food by our doors. That's what we were doing. We were never allowed to play outside. We're practicing what the President Ramaphosa was saying over distance and sanitizing, wash your hands. It's very important. I believe that if we can practice what the Chinese did, this pandemic can be over sooner or later.
How did you feel hearing you coming back home and then landing here and saying you're going to be in another self-isolation here?
I cried because I wanted to go home. I miss my family. And the sad thing is my mom was already here to pick me up at the airport, and she couldn't pick me up. And when we came here, we were like, okay, this is our second quarantine. It's okay. We're just going to sit here, follow the rules as we followed them in China. And then at the end of the day, at the end of this pandemic, 14 days, we're all negative, and I'm happy that we're going home. I believe that each one of us, we're going to practice this, teach our community and our families.
How are you feeling about going home finally now?
I'm so excited, so overwhelmed that I'm going home. I'm going to see my mothers, I'm going to see my family, my siblings, everyone that I've been missing. Wow, going to China the whole year without talking to your family, only phone, thank God to WhatsApp, we're able to video call and all. It makes life easier, and I believe that we all made it at the end. Yes.
Thank you so much. That was one of the 76 students that will be returning to their families today. They were in quarantine here in the east of Johannesburg after returning home from China, where they were on learnership programs for almost a year. Back to you in studio.